Hi everyone! Thank you so much for tuning into my tarot channel today. Wanted to have some music in the background. Yay! So there's music now, which is something I used to do years ago when I started doing readings. I didn't even show my face in those days. Look how far I've come with my self-esteem. I think that is a major theme of this reading. Self-esteem. I'll turn this down a little bit. There's something in you that it's like as I relax and feel some of the energy, you're coming into some self-esteem that you haven't allowed yourself to have before. And you're coming into some higher calling, with some higher wisdom or some like ownership at least, of your experience. And you may be rising above people around you in terms of self-knowledge or just knowledge. There may be a wisdom that you're connecting with that previously you have not integrated into your experience. Someone's defensive. Someone in your experience that you've been interacting with is guarded, and this also could be you. I'm just getting an energy of someone based on some of the films that I've been attracted to watch in the last 2 days and some documentaries or the last 3 days, that there's something here about fraud. If not literal fraud, then like someone made you feel like they were trying to be fraudulent with you. Okay, like you felt like this person is a fraud. And it made you question what you know, back to the Hierophant. It made you question, what do I know if I can't gauge whether this person's real or not? And I'm also getting an energy of someone leaving like a situation and perhaps going, like maybe you went back somewhere where you have roots or you grew up, and it just sort of proved to be an old cycle, is what I'm feeling. One movie I watched recently was, what is it called? The Dark Knight Ends or something like that. It was with Vanessa Kirby and Jennifer Jason Leigh, two actresses I really like. And I really connected with the movie. The woman is my age, first of all. Or I think Vanessa Kirby is like a year younger than me, but came out like last year, and just sort of about revisiting old parts of life and then finding ways to move forward. And I feel like that's an energy you're at. Also, I'm getting an energy with that movie of some sort of toxic family dynamic that you were trying to look for something there that you never got, but hoping that it might be given now, and then you got confirmation that no, it won't be given now either. So that's an energy here. And then I also watched Flowers in the Attic because it was just on Netflix, and even though it came out like in 2014. I like the actress Heather Graham, and I think Kieran Shipka is in that. I like her too. Just like, you know, some themes of like dysfunction, family dysfunction, people putting others in bad situations because they don't know another way to deal with their lives, because the mother in that movie, Heather Graham, is suddenly a widow and has no money, and she decides to move her kids in with her toxic family to survive. And you can, I'm also just like with Flowers in the Attic as a title, is there something that you've been told, because the reason it's called that is they're told they can't go outside, so they start to grow their own garden of like paper flowers inside, and some real flowers at some point. But there may be something like that where you've been forbidden from something, but you're still managing to make it happen in your own way, or you're still managing to dream in a time where it feels like there's not much to plant. So there could be some commitment coming up for the viewer. Also, this card relating to the number 4 asks the viewer to look for stability. There could be an option for that coming up. There could be a celebratory time, which means that right now maybe, this is the future. So right now things may be unbalanced or unclear. When I look at your energy, I'm just thinking of this stone fluorite. I've been thinking of it for a couple days. And I used to have a big hunk of fluorite, and then it broke. But I ordered it online. This was years ago. I forget. Does it maybe affect the kidneys or something? I'm not exactly sure. Maybe some crown chakra stuff too. I'm not exactly sure, but there's something there with that. Like, also, I don't know if I can find it. Had some pink fluorite that I wanted to share. There's definitely something on the horizon that is going to be changing the dynamic right now. And it requires, oh, I don't know where my pink fluorite is. Oh, here it is. This is about the heart chakra. It has this pink fluorite. It's encased in other non-fancy stone, but you can see it. So this has to do with the heart chakra, the circulation system, the blood. Something about detox here. Something about get it out of my head. Something about move muscle, change of thought. Sorry, I'm stuttering. Something about, not something about. And I feel that there's like a little bit of feeling like a lost opportunity that you're working through. Like maybe someone's made things hard for you in your life to move forward. And also maybe there's been people that you feel like you can no longer put your energy into, or money or time or whatever. You can't sacrifice anything for them anymore. This has to do with, you know, your thoughts being righteous. Thinking of a Yankee in King Arthur's court, and just the tales of like Merlin and the sorry, it was called a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's court, and just like the tales of Merlin and the sword that's like taken. Oh no, I forget the details of that, but at some point in those stories, King Arthur's court, someone takes this like sword that's very powerful and has ultimate power. That has to relate to you here. You're taking back your power, and I feel that other people are not there to be in that with you, because I'm just hearing the word gaslighting. Like there's maybe someone or maybe multiple people who, rather than validate your new insights or perspectives, they would rather point the finger at you and say you're wrong or bad. You were disempowered. You were like once removed from your energy. You weren't embodied. And there could be a fire sign here, a fire sign woman or man that, you know, has sort of more of a feminine sense. So there's a fire sign here that feels disempowered. And there's also a relationship with the 4 of Wands that we got before. So I'm seeing like kind of 2 relationships actually. So they've gotten you on your stability and then off your stability at different times, which is why I'm relating it to the 4. The first person is really good at like making things happen, and they have a magical quality, and you feel that they deceived you in some way. But this person also, this first person, I don't think you actually had ever a real relationship with them. Maybe it was just a friendship or even like emotional affair. When you think of this first person, who by the way may not be chronologically the first person you met here, There's a feeling of innocence and nostalgia. There's a feeling of maybe you didn't work well together, and just disappointment. And also that recovery from disappointment there. That maybe this person helped you recover from disappointment in your life. What else about this first person? What else about this first person? I just heard trust, and this is, I kept pulling and we got the Magician three times, so that's important. Just again, just pause here. So there was something like this person had tools. Maybe they were trying to help you spiritually, like alchemize different things in your life. Ultimately, you felt like you were waiting for something to come here with this person that wasn't going to come, and I feel that you gave up. You were like, well, I can't wait for this person to decide. I can't. You decided to just leave. You were like, I can't be part of this person's life because they're concerned with their financial stuff, with being the king of their roost, if it's a man, or it could still be a woman. So that first person, which again, it could just be chronologically different, but there's one person. Also, this person has maybe a family, or they come from a family that it somehow was a barrier, even though that card was upright. So maybe this is a person who's married and has kids, and there was a connection with you. Or maybe this is someone that you just dated and they're from a family that is not maybe toxic or enmeshed or something. The second person is emotionally giving, and also the second person felt like they lost out with you. They felt like they didn't get you and they were disappointed, but also I think it was a self-fulfilling prophecy, the second person. Like, I feel like they did things to make it so you would leave, which is frustrating. I feel like this person, with the second time I got on this card, that there's like some sort of addiction or maybe toxic marriage or toxic relationship that trumped your relationship. And also this person are very intuitive, and they may be involved in the law or have like just a pragmatic way of thinking, logical. So what's the difference between the first and second person here? So the first person, let's get a card for them. And then the second person, let's get a card for them. So the first person, it felt like you were continually giving and trying, and they may have felt that about you, that you were demanding, even though I don't think you really were. I think you were trying to have things be reciprocated. Like, okay, I do this, you do this. Or like maybe even there was like something about sex here, or even just money, where it was like, where's my stuff? Where's my stuff is what I'm hearing. Because it was like, I felt like you were constantly giving to this person, and somehow they still felt like they were the giver, which is funny. And then just this person feels like sort of like, I was going to say gypped, it comes from gypsy. I guess it's fitting because we're doing tarot cards and gypsies did do tarot cards. Okay, that's important here. This person feels like, relating back to the Four of Wands, instability, as a gypsy travels, this person feels like they keep just like having stability, like it's not within their grasp. And that's frustrating for them. And then the second person feels very backstabbed by you in some way. They also feel just like they're like holding on to their wounds of the situation, and they feel very like they've just come out of a long time feeling angry, or like they're at war, or like they're mad at you. They want to know what happened in both situations. So the first person who feels like, it feels like you're giving too much, but they feel like they're the giver. I feel like in the past, you were really understanding with this person, even though they weren't able to like give you what you wanted. They weren't able to deliver things. And then recently you turned the wheel and you maybe became much more independent. And I think that scared this person, this first person. So keeping in mind that dynamic with them. And then with the second person who feels angry and hurt, this person has depression. They feel deceived by you. Also, they may have been deceptive about their feelings, because I'm feeling that there's deep emotional stuff. And also they may have some negative family stuff, either their family of origin or their family itself. They feel like you abused your power, but also you feel like they abused their power with the second person. So I'm getting that your feelings about both people, it's like sort of, it feels like no matter where you turn, and I also read the moon reversed as your family could be detrimental or deceptive or toxic. So it's like you were creating this dualistic thing with these two people to see if you could get your needs met, because your family or old friends or whatever weren't able to meet it. And yet they were not able to do that, and it did put you in touch with yourself, with your big Empress energy that, you know, you can provide. And I'm thinking of the buffalo stuff from Native Americans, that like the Great Spirit will provide, the Great Buffalo will provide. You know, Native Americans use every part of the buffalo. I think I'm just hearing waste not, want not. Are you someone who feels guilty if you put time into something and it doesn't work out or it doesn't pan out? Because I understand that. That's very, like, much a thing in our culture. I was hearing this thing the other day of, I think it was Lena Dunham's mother tells her, I love quitting. I thought that was so funny. She also said 50% rule. Because a lot of us who are intense feelers or artists or whatever, intense people, we might feel, and I'm getting this energy with you, or just hypervigilant, that we have to be over and above. But really, a lot of people in life are just phoning it in. And I'm not saying you should phone it in if you're someone who goes hard at everything. I'm saying pull back your energy a little bit. You know, keep some of that for yourself. Maybe give 50%. Just like in this one of these relationships you felt you were overgiving. Give like what you can and see if it's reciprocated. Don't overgive is a big lesson for this reading. I'm feeling some guides coming through. Feeling some energy. I'm feeling somebody with the letter D, like someone who's passed on, someone with the letter D, someone's family, somebody who had a cat, somebody's older relative who's passed on who had a white cat. They want you to know that this is temporary, this feeling, that you're going to find people beyond these situations. And they're bringing up the flowers in the attic that I watched earlier. This deceased relative of yours. Now there's a man coming in with a, I'm sorry, I'm having a lot of imagery here. Is there some man who used to go outside with you? They took you on trips. It could be father, uncle, brother, I was going to say sister. I guess it could be a sister who is masculine as well, you know. But I am getting a masculine energy here, someone who's passed on, not too old, and as well as that older relative with the white cat. They're both, and this person also took you fishing, or liked camping, or liked outdoors stuff, but simultaneously, they may have taken you to a city. I'm seeing the Eiffel Tower. I'm also seeing the Empire State Building. Maybe this person was French, since I said the Eiffel Tower, or French-Canadian. That could be something in your background there. In terms of the Eiffel Tower and the, what was the other tower? Where is that? I'm just hearing, yeah, did this person, the Empire State Building, this person wants you to change your perspective of your life and of the situation and see it from above. Sorry. Now, since we're talking about Canada for a second, I'm thinking of Lakes of Canada, which is a great song that I love, but also just literally I used to babysit a lot for a lot of my life, and I once went on vacation with a family outside the lakes, outside Toronto, on the Lakes of Canada, and it was beautiful. for a couple weeks, and maybe it was just 2 weeks, but it was impactful. Let's see, I was a teenager. I wrote a lot of poetry that week, and we did a lot of campfire stuff, and I remember the mother was frustrated because I went to bed early one night and I told her that I was upset because my boyfriend and I had broken up. This is a long time ago now. This story's coming out of nowhere. But this stuff may be... She was kind and understanding, and said that she had been heartbroken before. And she said, you know, my husband, he's a good guy. He's not like that unpredictable guy that I had a thing with, but he's a good guy. Okay, so that's the story. Several things coming here with that, and I was guided there by your dead relatives here, or deceased, sorry. There's just somebody that feels like this is the end of their dating situations, like there's not going to be another person, this was the best person and it's not going to work out, and then this other person came along, you know, because we had the 2 relationships. Other person came along and they were also negative in some way. It seems like they were caught up on their own wounds before you even got there, is what I'm hearing. But yeah, with the pink tourmaline, like, I just wonder if there's some healing that has to do with circulation, like lifting your legs at night, or even just like in a sauna. But back to the story, like, you know, there could just be a new chance for love coming up here, or a new experience, maybe within the next 2 years, that you have given up sort of some old situations and you're making room for new. And I don't think you believe that that will happen. I think you believe if you let go of something else will come to you. And this could be not only love, but like jobs, places to live. I'm getting a real gripping energy. Like I'm also hearing that, like, you can't control. I'm just hearing the words you can't control. Is somebody here really good at math? I don't know. Somebody, or maybe you're related to somebody who's good at math. Somebody's an engineer. Or somebody's relative. I'm just having a lot of imagery. There's just, your guides are coming through and they're saying, like, you need to focus more on what's here and now. Because I feel like a lot of the time you're upset about stuff from the past that was like really bad, or or things that, you know, really make you mad about other people who won't change. Back to the 6 of Pentacles reverse, that these people cannot give you what you need, and you need to give that to yourself. You guys are showing me like a double rainbow. I saw a double rainbow the other day. I'm just hearing like Frank Sinatra. I'm a little lamb who's... I can't sing it now. You know that song that's about a lamb that's lost in the woods? Watch over me. I'm gonna have to pause this. There's a saying, oh, said that love is blind. Still we're often told, seek and ye shall find. There's a certain lad I want to, I don't know, tell tonight. And then it's like, someone to watch over me. I'm sorry, it's a little scattered, this reading, but there is an energy here of someone to watch over me. Like, you feel like you're not watched over. You feel like your guides aren't with you, like God's not with you, like no one's watching what you're going through, but you are being watched over and guided. And your guides are telling me, like, with the double rainbow, there's a lot of good coming that you just have to be ready for. And sometimes when a lot of bad things have happened, we're not ready for good. I'm also getting an energy of someone trying to, like, jam a door or a drawer into something where it doesn't fit. Like, you're trying to be like, fit, make it fit. Like, you know, it's almost like you took drawers from IKEA and tried to jam them into your your kitchen drawer and make it work. And I'm hearing make it work, like from Project Runway. But you can't make it work anymore with these people or with these situations that you've moved beyond. And it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. Is there something here with your dad, father figure? Because just going off my intuition, sad and dad rhyming. Is there something here with like a negative father figure who maybe has issues, or maybe they died and you feel abandoned? But either way, it's, yeah, absent father. Either they're unable to be your father, or they're literally not here, or they, you know, maybe they just weren't involved, like they weren't around growing up. But that's coming up, and it makes sense because we got the sun reversed earlier. But I feel that it's left you in relationships feeling very defensive, and your guides are telling me that, like, with the Eiffel Tower, or the Eiffel and the Empire Tower, like, sky's the limit. You gotta look beyond these people's incapabilities and cherish your capabilities. And I'm also just feeling like it's hard to explain. Spirit's telling me, like, you got to focus on details right now, like little things, actually, to improve your vibration. And I'm talking about like things that actually don't have to do with the trajectory of your life, your career, your self-growth, whatever. Like really little things like that make you feel very good. So this could be stupid, like if you're a girl or even a guy, I don't know, to each his own. It makes me feel good to have my nails done. Okay, I feel just happy, and I like color, and it's like color therapy, and I'm an artist. Another thing, I like to wear some jewelry sometimes, and if I forget, it's less stuff to fiddle with anxiously. I don't know, it just makes me feel safe. I like my glasses. I like to wear makeup. It just is fun. It's a fun artistic thing that makes me feel fun. So little things like that. I like to go for a walk and write in my journal in the morning and sometimes in the afternoon. I like to read my book. I like to make everything in my life a work of art, down to the small details. And those things get me excited. And then I look at the bigger things and they feel similar. Like they feel like, oh, they're just little art pieces that I'm doing in the world. Does that make sense? So I feel like you have to just sort of like spread your wings here. You are growing a garden, and you're like obsessively like researching, like, is it growing? Is it growing? Like, is it happening? And also there could be just some really hard times that you're recovering from, financially and emotionally and spiritually. Bit of a dark night of the soul. I think that the more that you detach from these old situations and people, it doesn't mean you don't love them anymore, but you move beyond what they're offering. It's also called gray rocking, is one word, where you kind of just give minimal effort and don't engage. And that means too not engaging in conflict, you know, because honestly, conflict should be reserved for people who are willing to meet you with your issues and address the things that have gone wrong and talk it through. If someone can't do that intelligibly or like without becoming an abusive person or a dictator, then that's not appropriate conflict. You know, some amount of conflict is normal in relationships. So it's up to you to gauge what's healthy and what's not. If someone's trying to continually bait us into conflict and make us mad and push our buttons and do things that are mean or cruel to make us continually have to set boundaries, that's not very healthy. And that is an energy I'm getting here. And I'm getting that you feel like one or both of those relationships, and maybe your family, were just like constantly blaming conflict on you and probably instigating it. And I feel that it made you have to pull way back with your energy. There's an energy of someone coming up that is going to be positive focus and someone who cares. your guides are just telling me, like, be patient, and so are these ancestors that came through, or these relatives. Because with the Page of Cups, it's like, it's a romantic energy. It's a youthful beginning energy. It's someone offering their cup of love. It's, hey, what about me? What about us? And someone who doesn't have the same problems as the King of Swords that we got before. King of Swords is a bit curmudgeonly. Maybe he's older. It relates to the sign of Aquarius, which is an older sign. Page of Cups, I relate more to Cancer, or maybe Pisces, but mostly Cancer. So there is somebody like emotional coming up who's gonna offer something different, but you have to create it first in your energy. And I know that's hard to hear. You have to be the love you need for yourself and focus on those small details. What else feels good that you can make sort of a work of art for yourself? Like, it could be anything. It could be, you know, even just how you make your food. Maybe you have an expressive way that you put food out, and that's fun for you. And maybe you have people over and you put out nice plates that have flowers, or maybe you try to make a flower arrangement. I guess I'm talking about distracting the mind by making a creative activity that feels fun. And it could be something small and stupid, like maybe just setting the table. I'm getting a lot of interior design stuff, like maybe just like rearranging the furniture, or, you know, choose your pleasure. But I'm thinking of a couple, or just an aspect of astrology that might be relevant here, which is Sun square moon. Okay, I don't even know where that came from. But if you have that in your birth chart, or if that's affecting, you know, that's like a passing, transiting thing for you, Sun square moon can be about disharmony with the parents, and also just an inner problem with disharmony with the outer self and the inner self, disharmony with the child and the adult self, with the career and the feelings. So there is some sort of like disharmony here, where it's like you're not allowing yourself to be the authority, but you're also not allowing yourself to be a child anymore. And yeah, I just want to end today's reading with a little bit of a meditation. I'm going to put on this Navajo healing chant, which is it's not an original chant, but it was made like in more recent times to be emblematic of actual chants that the Navajo people did. So I'm just going to play that, and we're going to have a moment of silence. And thank you so much for tuning in. If you're interested in getting a reading, please email me at plpearlwitz@gmail.com or crystalmessagestarot1@gmail.com. I do Zoom or pre-recorded. I love working with people. I'm gonna be putting some shorts on YouTube and Instagram. I was gonna say Instacart. On Instagram, hopefully daily or every other day. I am lastly channeling the goddess Hecate and the number 333, which relates to her. So that's about abundance, relates to the Empress, which we got in this reading. So I just feel I want you to relax into abundance. And the abundance you have now can only, if you appreciate and feel gratitude for it, it can only expand and grow. So here's what we're going to play, the music that I want you to hear. And I love you so much, and I wish you a happy day. If I can get this to play. Oops, sorry, don't be mad. Just hold on, we're gonna play this. It's just really good, and I just want you to hear it. Take a deep breath with me. And out. And listen to the concerns of your own heart in silence. Namaste.